Simulating output voltage waveform of three-phase 6-pulse full wave converter. Let's talk about its theory first. So it consists of 6 number of thyristors and a three-phase supply. The output voltage waveforms look something like this. So this is the output voltage waveform for alpha is equal to 60 degree, that is the firing angle at 60 degree. So this is angle 60 degree, which is measured from this instant at which the thyristor T1 becomes forward biased for first time. This point is already at 30 degrees. So the net angle at which T1 is triggered is 90 degrees. So after 60 degree of triggering of this T1, T2 is triggered, and after its 60 degree T3 is triggered, and this process continues. The important thing is that the T1 once triggered at 90 degrees again triggered only after 360 degrees. And the last point is that a particular thyristor is kept on for a total of 120 degree. So this is how the output voltage will waveform for alpha is equal to 60 degree will look like. So let's proceed on to MATLAB Simulink and let's try to simulate this output. Let's open MATLAB Simulink. Let's create a blank model and let's try to recreate the circuit diagram in this blank model. For that, let me just paste the images of the circuit diagram as well as the waveform for the reference. Having pasted these images, let's try to recreate the circuit diagram in this model. For that, I'll be using Simscape Power System toolboxes, and the first thing I require is a thyristor. So I'll try to find the thyristor in the power electronics library, and here is my thyristor. I'll drag and drop it here onto my model and let me flip it. Okay, let me recreate it as I require 6 thyristors. So I'll right click them and drag to duplicate them. The next thing I'll require is the voltage source. So I'll again go to the library. I'll move on to the electrical sources and I'll drag and drop the AC voltage source onto my model. I'll let's double click it to change its particulars. Let me change the frequency to 50 Hertz, and this will emulate the phase A voltage. I'll right click it and duplicate it. So this will emulate as the phase B voltage, and since phase B voltage is lagging the phase A voltage by minus 120 degrees, so I have to change that accordingly in this parameter box. So the third voltage source will be lagging by 240 degree, and this will emulate the phase C voltage. Now for the load, I'll be using series RLC branch. So let me go to the elements and let me just drag and drop the series RLC branch. Let me change it to an RL branch for better waveforms. So let me flip it as well. Now I have all the ingredients, and let me connect them according to the circuit diagram. The next thing I'll require is a gate control pulse, and for that the block which we will use is the pulse generator block. So I'll directly call the pulse generator block by writing pulse generator in the model itself. So I need to change the parameters of pulse generator block in such a way so that I get meaningful output as per my waveforms. So let me change the parameters. Amplitude is fine. Period. So if a thyristor is triggered at one point, then it will be triggered once again only after 360 degrees. So the period of thyristor triggering is 360 degree. And how to write that in seconds? So we have already converted the frequency of the AC input source to 50 Hertz. So that means in order to cover 360 degrees, the time taken is 1 by 50 seconds. Since the period of thyristor is 360 degree, therefore the period of the thyristor is 1 by 50 seconds, that is 0.02 seconds. The next one is pulse width. So from this waveform we can see that this thyristor T1, or in fact all the thyristors, are operated for a duration of 120 degrees. So the pulse width is 120 degrees, and the percentage of pulse width is 120 degree divided by the complete period, and that is 360 degree. So in order to convert it into percentage, I have to multiply this with 100 as well. And the last one is the phase delay. So from here we can see that the thyristor T1 triggers only after 90 degrees phase delay with respect to the reference. Therefore, the phase delay will be 90 degree. But how to write 90 degrees in seconds? So for that I have to multiply it with 0.02 seconds and divide it by 360 degrees. So this means that it takes 0.02 seconds to cover 360 degrees, and to cover 90 degrees it will take 0.02 into 90 divided by 360 seconds. So that's how we will update the pulse generator for the thyristor T1. So let me connect it with thyristor T1. Similarly, for thyristor T2, I'll make the necessary updation. So the only thing which I will update is I'll change the phase delay from 90 degree and add 60 degrees to it. So the phase delay for thyristor T2 will become 150 degree. Similarly, I can see from the waveform that each thyristor is triggered after 60 degree phase delay of the previous thyristor. So accordingly, I'll change the parameters of each pulse generator corresponding to each thyristor. So let me do that. The only thing I did was I added 60 degrees to the phase delay of each subsequent thyristor. So in order to visualize the waveforms, I require another block, and for that I'll be using the scope block. So I'll directly recall the scope from the model, and let me change the number of ports to 4 so that they can accommodate all my waveforms. Okay, so in order to display the input waveforms, I'll use one more block, that is multimeter, and in order to activate multimeter I have to change the measurement tab to voltage in all the voltage sources. So let me do that. Now I will call the multimeter block directly, but before working with multimeter I have to add one more block, that is power GUI block. So I'll call the power GUI block directly, and now I'll double click the multimeter. So I can see that all the three input voltages are being displayed in the available measurements, and let me move them to the selected measurement area. So I'll connect the output of this multimeter to the first input of the scope, and this will give me the input voltage waveform. The second thing I require is the triggering sequence of the positive group thyristor. For that I'll be using one more block, that is multiplexer, and which goes by the name of MUX. So let me change the number of inputs to 3, and now I'll connect all the pulse generator inputs to this MUX. So let me connect them, and I'll connect this output to the second input of the scope. Similarly, I'll do that for the negative group of thyristors also. So let me connect all the input pulses for the negative group of thyristors to this multiplexer, and the output of this multiplexer will be connected to the fourth input of the scope. And finally, the load voltage can be obtained with the help of a voltmeter. So let me find a voltmeter in the measurement tabs. So this is my voltmeter. Let me connect it across the load, and the output of this voltage measurement will be connected to the fourth input of the scope. Now our circuit is complete, and let me simulate this circuit for 0.05 second, and that will give me the required waveforms. So let me simulate it. So let me change the layout so that all the waveforms can be viewed separately. So these are my output voltage waveform. The first one represents the input voltage waveform. The second one represents the triggering sequence of positive group thyristor. The third one represents the triggering sequence of the negative group thyristor. And the fourth one represents the output voltage waveform. So we can see that the output voltage waveform is similar to that discussed in our theory. So in this way, we can simulate the output voltage waveform of a 3-phase 6-pulse full wave converter with the help of Simulink. So that's it for this video. I'll share the .slx file along with this video. So thank you.